You are free to follow whichever religious faith you wish, to be ambiguous or undecided about spiritual matters, or to have no organized faith at all. As long as your religion, secular ethic, or personal moral code makes you a happier, better, and more responsible person. And being a happier, better, and more responsible person, your belief doesn't harm anyone else or limit anyone else's faith or freedom or threaten their safety. You may find this interesting to consider now or later. Religions and moral codes of conduct are more alike than they are different. They share themes because these values keep our world coherent and prevent society from crumbling beneath us. Respectfulness, reliability, and modesty. The importance of truth-telling, honesty, and trustworthiness. Our obligation to be charitable, compassionate, and kind to others. The prohibition against taking a human life. Our role in protecting the weak, the poor, the sick, and the disadvantaged. The imperative to care for our families, loved ones, and to treat our neighbors and everyone in our communities as we would treat ourselves. And as you continue to watch and listen, it likewise follows that you are free to choose to have beliefs in your secular life as well. Politics, art, literature, music, culture, whatever it is you wish. Again, so long as your belief improves your life in some way, makes you a happier, better, and more responsible person, and doesn't harm anyone else or limit their beliefs or threaten their safety in any way. I'd like you to ask yourself this. Is a belief something set in stone, something to believe in no matter what? Or is belief a flexible thing? Isn't belief not so much what other people tell you to believe, and more of a thing you conclude yourself based on what you see, hear, touch, taste, and smell in the world, based on what you've learned from your long life experiences? Which means a belief is your interpretation of the world boiled down into an understanding or a series of understandings that support you mentally, spiritually, ethically, emotionally, and in every other way that helps you lead and improve your life and sheds some light on the philosophical questions you have about the meaning of everything that we all share. And so your beliefs are what you make of the world, not what someone else wants you to make of it, not what someone else tells you to make of it. A good teacher does not dictate what you need to know. A good teacher will teach you how to find what you need yourself. Wisdom is knowledge discovered and earned. Imagine a belief as a piece of the puzzle you create to fit your understanding of the mystery of the universe. It may not be exactly the right shape. Over time, you may need to trim a bit here and there, or fill in a missing area. Or you may have to throw out the piece if you've noticed it's too flimsy or worn, and make a new one. At some point in every thinking person's life, as you grow up, you begin to have doubts about your beliefs. This is a healthy sign. You're not blindly following someone else, but are thinking for yourself. There's something inherent about the words "I believe" that suggests that a belief is only our best understanding made at the moment. Maybe not entirely accurate, but it's your best take and what you've got to work with so far. It's okay, because as you travel through life, you're doing the best you can to work through it all. Which means, regardless of what you take to be true now, or at any given moment, everybody has a right to change their mind. Ask yourself if you trust yourself enough to believe that you have the maturity, the confidence, the flexibility to change your belief when you find out that it fails you in some critical way, in spite of what others believe, especially in spite of what anyone else believes you should believe. You have only your own high expectations to answer to when you are responsible for the well-being of others. And so you should consider holding some uncertain beliefs as conditionally true. That is, you use them as working ideas pending evidence to the contrary, unless and until you find out they are harmful to yourself or others, or are not accurate or ridiculous as seen through your own eyes later in life. That way, you wouldn't have to change your beliefs if it turns out that the thing you held conditionally true just didn't pan out. And as you can imagine, it's an easier thing to backpedal an idea you thought of as conditionally true and kept to yourself than to take back something you publicly cried far and wide, perhaps on social media, as your statement of belief without question. That way you have belief wiggle room. That way you don't get caught with your beliefs down. Some of the most respected people keep their beliefs private unto themselves.
Be smart.
And, in fact, it may be more practical to hold only all of your beliefs as conditionally true, meaning if they work, hang on to them. When they stop working, then it's time to find a better belief, a richer belief that does what you need it to, a belief which is as honest as you can make it and does no one harm. You never want to get into a situation where you have no choices. People who find themselves stuck do so, generally, because they've cut themselves out of choices and are blind to their options.
Be smart.
By now, I'm sure it has occurred to you that we believe not just one thing, but many things. As beings who hold so many different beliefs and understandings, we can be conflicted when two or more of our beliefs contradict each other. When this happens, you may find yourself challenged to decide which of the conflicting beliefs is more true than the other. You may wish to keep the more reasonable belief and discard the other. Or you could continue to believe both things separately while being aware when each belief is best held and the other set aside, as long as it works for you. As long as your beliefs support you, bring comfort, strength, protection, and safety to you, your family, friends, and community everywhere. So as long as your beliefs fill you with love and not hate or prejudice or fear. Think of your beliefs as the structure of your understanding of your place in the world, so that you can feel good about yourself and the relationships you have with your friends, family, and community. And so in all these ways, you can think of your beliefs as homemade DIY models of reality, can't you? Much like our model of the mind from the first episode in this series. And like that model, your beliefs were a simplification to make the complexity around all this easier to understand. It follows then that when you are free to believe whatever you wish, it's your obligation to make sure your beliefs are studied, thoughtfully crafted, independent, reasonably accurate, subject to revision in the face of new information, and that you regularly test them against reality so that you can depend on them to act as a reliable resource, bringing you peace, clarity, stability, comfort, and a profound sense of happiness.